is Jasmine. If you're new here, I am 23 and I create college, maybe like less college because I'm about to graduate in December, but college, lifestyle, things like that. So I actually have here a whole pile of books that I'm gonna talk about. Today I thought it would be fun to just talk to you guys about some of my favorite books that I've been enjoying this summer, and I know I haven't made a book video in a really long time, so yeah, I'm really excited to film this. I've been thinking of filming this all summer. I've had my summer reading list, and I've been just checking books off, and now that I'm finally finished with the majority of the books, I have them right here, and I'm gonna show you guys. So the first book I really want to talk about, I'm actually like reading it right now. I am a little like over halfway through, but I just want to talk about this really quick. It's an older like book. It came out when, I don't know, like 20 years ago. But it's called Redeeming Love. If you're Christian, you probably heard of it. Love story. It's based on the biblical story of Gomer and Hosea. If you don't know the story, she's a prostitute. Hosea, like, he marries her and brings her out of prostitution, and she goes back to prostitution, then comes back. It's a really good story. It's literally a classic love story, and I've never read this book, and so many people have told me to read this book, and I've realized it's gotten like really popular recently with other like girls in my age group. Like, everyone's like, read it, you'll love it, and it's a really hard read, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about. At first, like, I'm literally like only like halfway through, but it is very hard to read. So I will like have a disclaimer. There is mature content in this book. So if you're triggered by like prostitution, sexual abuse, I would not read this book, but it's really great. It has scripture all throughout, and yeah, I'm really loving it so far, and I understand why it's just a classic and everyone loves it. So on a lighter note, I'm going to talk about this book, People Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. It's the same author that wrote Beach Read, and I didn't read Beach Read, but I read this and I loved it. It's so funny and beachy and just lighthearted. So yeah, I really liked it. It's about two best friends, Alex and Poppy. They met in college. They're best friends, a boy and a girl, and they go on vacation with each other every year for like the last 10 years. They've been in college and out of college, and it's really, really good. It's set in like New York City, but also takes you like places that they travel. It's just a really cute, really fun story. So you'll see a theme here. Like, the next books, those were like two of the books that I read from different authors, and then these are books from the same author that are like super popular and some of my favorites. So this is Maui Rising, Taylor Jenkins Reid. So good. It came out at the beginning of the summer. I finally read it last month when I went to beach on vacation, and I really loved it. It's got like the same characters as one of our other books I want to talk to you about, and it's just about three children of this famous musician and like their lives, and they're like, two of them are like professional surfers. Oh, sorry, it's four children. Two of them are professional surfers. One is kind of like, she's 20, so she's kind of like not there yet, but kind of, and then their oldest sister is a model. So yeah, this is really good. And on that same note, I have two of these other books from Taylor Jenkins Reid that I read this summer. I actually read this one first, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I read this, it was recommended to me by a friend, so I bought it, and it is so good. It has the same character, like there's one character in this book that makes like a little cameo in this book that is the main-ish character of Maui Rising. So I really like how she connected this. And this book is also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but this book is set in the 1980s. This book starts out in the 1950s and goes to modern day. I think it was around like 2017. But as you can see from the title, it's kind of like old Hollywood, which I really liked that. I really like old Hollywood movies. And it talks about Evelyn Hugo, a movie star from like the 50s and 60s, so like golden era Hollywood, and her many love affairs, as you can tell by the title. And it goes from like the 50s to the 60s, 70s, 80s, like on up till modern day. She gives an interview to a reporter for a magazine and like tells her whole life story. So this was very good. I really loved it a lot. And I also have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was also so great. I mean, you can tell it's a Reese's book club pick, so it has to be good. I was kind of put off at first because they tell like the story through an interview. I don't know if you can see, but it's like an interview format. And I didn't really like that at first, but like I liked the story. I just didn't really like exactly how it was written. I mean, it was still very good. Not as good as Seven Husbands, not as good as Maui Rising, but I would definitely check this out. Oh, sorry, it's like something's my eye. I would definitely check this out if you like old rock and roll. It's kind of a historical novel, like Seven Husbands, and then I guess Maui Rising could be historical fiction too, but it's just a period piece. It's set in the 80s. But this is set in the 70s, the late 70s, like rock and roll. Well, it starts off in like 1965, I think, and then it ends in the late 70s. So rock and roll, like Bob Dylan era vibes. So yeah, if you like things like that, you probably really like this book, because I really liked it. I think she even like modeled Daisy. Of course it's fiction, but I really do think she modeled Daisy after Janis Joplin, she said. So yeah, I really liked this book a lot. It wasn't really one of my absolute favorites, but I did want to mention it while I was talking about Taylor Jenkins Reid other books. And last but not least, I have two books from her that I just love this author. If you guys have been on my channel or like been following my little Instagram for a while, you know I love Ellen Hilderbrand. She's one of my favorite authors. We actually have the same birthday, July 17th, which is really cool. But yeah, this one is called Here's to Us, and it is about a chef who dies and his three wives, well, two of his ex-wives and then his current wife that he was married to when he died, go to his beach house in Nantucket. If you're not familiar with Ellen Hilderbrand, she lives on Nantucket in Massachusetts, and she writes books about Nantucket. She also has a series called Paradise, like Winter in Paradise, which I read that series, and I think I already talked about it maybe in like one of my other book videos, but it's really good. It's set on St. John. But other than that one, all of her books are set in Nantucket, and I really enjoy this one. I really enjoy her books. They're very beachy, and I don't know, I just love them. I love her. So this is one of the ones I read this summer, and then I also read The Perfect Couple. I loved this book, like absolutely loved this book, and I thought nothing could top 28 Summers, like her last summer novel that I know I've already talked about on my channel, but 28 Summers, I loved that book, and this book comes very close to, in my opinion. I just really loved this book. It's kind of a murder mystery. A bridesmaid dies, actually the maid of honor dies the night before like a big wedding, and yeah, so it's really great. It's a murder mystery, but also very beachy, and I just really loved it. And I also wanted to talk to you guys about another one of Ellen's books that I loved this summer. It's of course her new, if you know of Ellen Hilderbrand, you know she came out with a new book, Golden Girl. I also read that this summer. I do not have it with me right now because I loaned it to my mom, who is actually reading it right now. So I do not have the book physically in my hand that I can show you, but I'll insert a picture. Yeah, I love that book. It's about a famous writer or author who dies and then in a hit and run car accident. It's kind of a murder mystery too. But she goes to heaven. So the main character dies, like the first chapter, and she goes to heaven, and she's given 3 nudges, and she can help her 3 children as they navigate life without her. So yeah, I really enjoyed that book. I'm about to be like kind of vulnerable, I guess, but I don't really like death. I mean, I'm a Christian. I know when I die, I will go to heaven and be with Jesus, but I don't know, like, I don't like death, and I don't want to really say that I'm afraid to die. Like, I know everyone dies one day, but I really liked that book, and I had to sit with it for a while. Like, I don't think it's maybe one of my most favorite books she's ever written, like this one or 28 Summers, but 28 Summers also deals with death a little bit too at the end. But I don't know, I just had to sit with that book for a little bit. Like, sometimes books, like I know when I finish Redeeming Love, I'm going to like be sobbing probably. And that was kind of how I was with Golden Girl. Like, I was just like, I had to sit with it for a few days before I picked up another book. It just gives you a lot to think about life and death and what happens after you die. Because, I mean, I know for a fact that I'm going to heaven, but it's like nobody really knows what heaven is like, and no one really knows what happens when you die. And I think that Ellen painted a really good picture of heaven and angels, because I also believe in guardian angels. So that was really touching. I really enjoyed it a lot. And it's still beachy. It's still like a really good beachy summer book. You guys will really like it if you like Ellen's other books, and even if you don't, I recommend reading 28 Summers by Ellen Hildebrand first. I'll put a picture of that right here. But 28 Summers, really great. I've talked about that in another video. I'll link it down below so you guys can see. But yeah, so I think that's all. I think I'm going to end it on that note. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that you guys enjoy like these book videos. I wanted to do something a little bit different from what I usually do. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day. Also, go Canes! Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.